gamble, and read cheap literature. Okay, so they go to the back, they're out of sight. It's on Sunday, they're not there every other day, they're not there every day. These incorrigible boys, doggone it. That imitative thing is interesting, though. I can vouch for that. That's definitely. I was always trying to like outdo my buddies and trying to like impress them. So that's that. That's June 20th. These are both the same day. That's Washington Times. And so what it shows us is that it was probably like the same writer or the same something where they're just like sharing the same story because it's being published on the same day. Because this one is the Evening Star, and that's also Washington D.C. So it's the same location. Again, this is because this precedes the 13 gang with the 13 tattoo with the Crimson Heart, which predates the 1944 Mapa Los Angeles tattoo. June 20th, 1910, Evening Star, boys drinking clubs, Reverend Zed Cop reveals startling conditions. Whiskey and beer dispensed at Sunday meetings in woods and elsewhere. Maybe Reverend Zod was like running for something. He was trying to get some good publicity, how he was breaking up the boys or he is trying to help them out. Describing as veritable hotbeds of iniquity, at least 3 well-organized. See, it's the same stuff. Boys of youth in a district which he declares he has recently discovered, whose only object is to devote their lives to drinking, gaming, and general dissipation. Reverend Zed H. Kopp, probation officer of the juvenile court, lays the blame for the existence of these organizations to the lack of vigilance and lack in interest on the part of parents. Yeah, we heard that already. See, this is when I hear this and I see it, it makes me think that this is part of some other type of, some type of propaganda discourse that goes forth, where they're trying to, because in this time, they're really trying to kind of ramp up and refine and define all of those federal into statewide systems of, again, compulsory participation spaces, namely school, and how school is a good filter to bureaucratically, systematically filter whomever you want based on whichever criteria you set up for it's a game. They talk about the kids gaming in the park. I mean, the whole thing is a game theory. I mean, setting up, the student has to pick certain strategies and certain kind of objectives and why, and what are the different rules of the game. And so they're set up so that they can filter easily into other spaces that are you might want to say institutional kind of genetic relatives to the compulsory free public grammar school. Okay, I mean it's all connected. It's all the kind of machinations and eco machinations of empire and imperialism. So I'm not here to value judge. Hey, I'm not here to subjugate or vindicate. I'm just saying this is what it is. This is how it works. And especially when you see the replicated verbiage, from Zed Cop, and this stuff happens all the time. Blame the parents. Go after the parents. It's a good time to fucking maybe it's a good time to start driving a lot of young boys toward the military. Get them ready for that. In the woods over in Anacostia, said Mr. Kopp, there's an organization known as the Woods Gang. It meets in the woods every Sunday, and the day is spent in drinking, card playing, the reading of vile literature. At least they're reading shit. Talking shit over there. So they're sitting around there playing cards. They're drinking. They're getting drunk all day on a Sunday. Versus going to church, I suppose. They're reading vile literature. Wow. and in all manner of depraved practices. Wow, maybe, they're probably doing all kinds of, they're smoking, they're drinking, they're talking loud, they're fucking fighting, they're looking at nudie pictures, 1910 nudie pictures, and who knows what else. They probably wouldn't have any music. 1910. Maybe somebody would have a little harp or something, or playing some spoons on their knee. I don't know. They procure quantities of beer and whiskey Saturday nights, and this is dispensed at the Sunday gathering. It's like their ritual. They got a ritual. See, the thing I don't know is what race they are. This is 1910, Washington, D.C. It didn't say on the other one, it said that, the Puddin' Gang, let's see, manifesting to the 13 gang, they tattooed 13s with a crimson heart. It hasn't said if they're black or white. I'm assuming they're either black or white. 1910 DC. Can we suspect that these are black gangs? Puddin' sound, I don't know, Puddin' sounds like a black gang to me. Maybe they all do. I don't know. When was Al Capone and them? They were in Chicago, I know, but what was going on in DC in 1910, There's another aggregation in Anacostia. So Anacostia in 1910, DC, Washington, D.C., greater area, included these little enclaves, or at least this one, where these little bad, incorrigible boys would get together and fucking do the thing. Its membership is sworn to idleness, personal uncleanliness, and dissipation. Wow. Just uncleanliness. That doesn't sound black, but I don't know. 1910, coming out of Reconstruction, were they even into the kind of they were always clean, right? I hate to be blanket judgment, but I haven't necessarily known black people writ large to just be personal uncleanliness. But then again, I have, so I could be wrong. This gang is limited to just 12 members. Here we go. It has headquarters in the woods, and at its shack, beer and whiskey flow freely for its members. So that must have been a big deal to have your own beer back then. Have your own little spot. The Southeast Puddin' Gang. In Southeast Washington is the Puddin' Gang, made up of boys from 10 to 18 years old. It doesn't say their color or their race or their ethnicity or whatever. Some of the worst depredations in that section have been traced to this organization, which is the eldest of the three. Okay, so this is the oldest gang in the area, the Puddin' Gang. Not long ago, several of its members were brought into court for being drunk and disorderly. They were found in a haymow in the southeast. Okay, they were drunken, disorderly. They were down there fighting each other, beating something up. Found in a haymow in the southeast. Some months ago, the speaker said a band known as the Jesse James Gang was broken up in the Northwest. How about that? So, my suspicion is this. The Puddin' Gang is the oldest gang. It probably comprises some family members of a younger generation, or what you might call little homies, or some other version of the same gang, which comprise 12 dudes. This might be the little brother, little brothers, the cousins, friends, little brothers, some dude down the street, basketball players, all kinds of people that comprise or count 12 people. And this gang, the Puddin Gang, gave birth to the Dirty Dozen, and the Woods. There's the Woods Gang too, and maybe that at some point